Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now April 2nd of 2025, and given that there's a lot of things going on right now, not just between both Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, but as well as Bob Iger, the board of directors, the many Disney executives over there that are really trying to water down the backlash. They are trying to really put this backlash out as much as possible, like no tomorrow. This is exactly why they are also hopping on the damage control train to really say everything is okay with this movie, even though we're losing a lot of money. They really want to make sure that they can get people to go ahead and see this in the theaters as much as they can, and to also have their Disney Plus subscribers / customers to go ahead and check this movie out once it does arrive on that platform. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So there's a lot of things going on right now with Rachel Zegler. We already know that she is the main contributor to why this movie failed miserably across the board. I mean, you couldn't get any more humiliated at this point after getting called out by a producer's son that actually worked on this movie, than one of the big time producers over at Disney. His son actually called out Rachel Zegler on social media. I mean, that was like the peak level of embarrassment for her, and it just goes to show you exactly why she is so universally rejected right now in the film industry, in the Hollywood bubble, and just exactly why a lot of studios no longer want to work with her. Now, there's a lot of things actually going on right now at the center of Disney, and exactly why Rachel Zegler is really in the hot seat. Let's discuss this, shall we? Now, specifically, we already know that Rachel Zegler really just doesn't get it. She doesn't really get a clue. She doesn't get the memo about how she really, was the main cause of as to why this movie just failed across the board. Now, with the Walt Disney Company attempting to recover from the Snow White box office collapse, CEO Bob Iger is already planning to present himself in the public multiple times to address the criticism yet again this week. However, one significant development going on now involves more to do with Rachel Zegler and how she got caught doing one of the worst things yet during the Snow White fiasco. Now, it turns out that Rachel Zegler was already in the planning stages of going on multiple popular podcasts and radio stations where she was going to criticize Disney directly and openly about how they hindered her press tour and promotion of Snow White. Now, not only that, but Zegler was also planning to go on the same podcasts and radio stations without Disney's approval to also bash President Donald Trump and his supporters yet again, where she was planning to blame politics on why the movie failed and the failure of Snow White. It turns out that the issues between Zegler and her agent and manager sparked from the fact that they are the ones who informed and warned the Walt Disney Company what she was up to, and that she was becoming very difficult to control, and what she was planning to do on social media and the varying podcasts. Once Disney caught wind of this, through her team, of course, they urged her to cancel any plans of going on popular social media podcasts and radio stations as well, or else they were going to move forward with a legal action or a legal case against Zegler. Now, this warning coming from not just the executives and Disney's legal team, but reportedly, of course, this brought Rachel Zegler's actions to an instant halt on what she was trying to do, as Zegler was also planning to drop multiple social media posts on her Instagram account that she reportedly informed her team prior of what she was planning to do, where she was also going to blame Trump supporters for the failure of Snow White. Now, guys, let me just say one thing about this. It's one thing to blame, anything to do with DEI or the criticism surrounding this movie. It's another thing for Rachel Zegler to go the extra mile to blame Trump supporters, or planning to blame Trump supporters yet again, on the failure of Snow White. Now, look, I think at the end of the day, it was a very good call on Rachel Zegler's agent and manager to really just, call her out, to really just warn Disney ahead of time of what she was up to, what she was attempting to do as a form of damage control that was not approved by the Walt Disney Company. And Disney got to her in time. They warned her that if she did something like this, she would be dealing with serious consequences. And that stopped her like that, like the snap of a finger. And it really just goes to show you that this is just how out of control Rachel Zegler truly is, and why no studio out there, at least no major Hollywood studio, wants to work with her at this point in time in 2025. So that is another big piece of an example of just how insufferable Rachel Zegler truly is, where she just does not want to recover, she does not want to improve herself at all. either genuinely or, falsely to the public eye. She doesn't really actually want to present herself in a better way. So, moving onwards, Zegler feels, of course, betrayed by her team that informed the Disney company on what she was planning to do toward the end of Snow White's run in the theaters, as Disney, of course, and movie theater chains are already beginning to dump Snow White out of certain locations across the US and the entire world, as the Minecraft movie is set to drop in a couple of days by WB. This is yet another slice of proof on just how unhinged Zegler truly is and why she was so difficult to work with on the set of Snow White for the 3 rounds of reshoots that were done. In addition to all of this is also why Zegler is blaming her agent manager for hindering her future career as an actress, as well as initially discussed. Now, you guys may recall we talked about that a couple of days ago. She was beginning to blame her agent and manager as to why her acting career is going down the drain as well. Well, now we know where all of that's coming from. Now, this, of course, stems from the fact and why there is a growing grudge between her and the entire team that once propped her up in the industry, and just how she got so many roles in a short amount of time via her team. Now, again, most of which she was booted from due to the Snow White drama. Again, like I've said many times before in the past, Hollywood believed, many Hollywood studios were led to believe, that Rachel Zegler was going to be the new it girl, something like a Sydney Sweeney or a Jenna Ortega of sorts, something around those lines, one of those up-and-coming actresses, and that really is just not the case at all. She's basically trying to become that level, that status, and it's very inauthentic, it's very phony, it's very just fake out of, all things Hollywood, to the point that many of the studios just could not deal with that anymore. So again, in conclusion, to make matters worse for the Disney company is that this film alone is already leading to many customers leaving the Disney Plus platform, and Bob Iger has even discussed about possibly shutting down the Disney Plus streaming service within the next year or two, unless major improvements are made either under his watch or the new CEO taking over Disney next year in 2026. So, look, we know that Disney Plus is struggling. This is exactly why Disney Plus Star Wars shows are now going to be limited to 1 Star Wars show a year. That's just for Star Wars. That's just for starters there. Even Marvel-related content, they are debating on whether or not they want to really dial down that as well, to kind of just not overinflate Disney Plus material anymore. And look, do I see Disney Plus shutting down completely within this year? Probably not. Within 2026, it's a possibility for sure once the new CEO takes over, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, I think that a lot of these properties belong in the movie theaters strictly. Things like Star Wars definitely do. But focusing on this Snow White situation, this is where it really gets out of control. The fact that you have Rachel Zegler going off the rails, not getting the approval by the Disney company to do such things of what she was planning to do, goes to show you exactly how she's not taking the criticism well at all, and exactly how the producers are in complete, frantic mode right now about what Rachel Zegler is trying to do here. We all know that. Anyway, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.